Hi guys, Super Secret Tech here, and I want to go over a very quick mechanical guide to Stormbrand versus Penance Brand. Before we get too far into it, if you would consider giving me a like and subscribing to the channel, as well as if you have any comments whatsoever about either Stormbrand or Penance Brand, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. All those things really do help me grow, and I genuinely enjoy helping you. So it's kind of a win-win on that regard. So to kind of get into it, what you're going to see in the footage behind me is me going through and playing Stormbrand. And you're going to see a very interesting mechanical interaction. So you're going to see little blue explosions, and you're also going to see lightning strikes coming from the sky. The lightning strikes coming from the sky are going to be off of Herald of Thunder. The little blue explosions are going to be off of Herald of Ice. And one of the things that is very interesting about Stormbrand is it actually has a chain mechanic. And the way chain works is it will hit one mob, and then it will hit the mob next to it. And each Stormbrand can do that. And each Stormbrand can attach twice to any target and chain to the next door neighbor of that target. And they can even chain to different next door neighbors of that target. Then you can also have 6 of these Stormbrands out at once, which you can use with Brand Recall to drop them all on one specific area, which causes mass chaos and is fantastic to watch. Kind of to see a little bit different mechanical interaction is, let me skip forward just a little bit here. All right, so this is going to be with Penance Brand. Now, Penance Brand has a duration and then an explosion at the end of the duration. So same thing, you're going to see lightning strikes and you're going to see the little blue clouds. Both of those take place in both of these. They both scale very, very well off of Heralds. I think Stormbrand does just slightly better because of the chain mechanic. However, with Penance Brand, once you get 3 remarkable cluster jewels, you can run Swift Brand very reliably. And it does significantly boost the damage of Penance Brand. It's also a very nice quality of life for Stormbrand, but it is not needed in the slightest with Stormbrand, where it feels almost mandatory if you're going to go into a Penance Brand build. The chief difference between these two and the mechanical interactions that I appreciate more off of Stormbrand is Penance Brand hits the bottom and the top very well. So it hits the bottom 10% where it does not feel good, and it hits the top 10% where it feels absolutely amazing and it's destroying the entire screen. It does those two things very, very well. Or not so well, depending on how your build is working at the time. Stormbrand is kind of more in the middle of that 80% in the middle. It's never going to be the highest top end skill since the nerf to Archmage. It will never be that again unless there is a revert there, or unless they change one of the supports to really have a huge impact with Stormbrand. However, the bottom 20 is so much higher than the bottom 10. It really has a fantastic scalability. And it feels much smoother to play. And it has a better line between bossing and clear speed than Penance Brand does. Penance Brand is almost always going to be a better clear if you have the cluster jewels to support it. However, for Penance Brand to be a better bosser, you really need a lot of gear. And so when you're going into a aura stacking scenario, what you're looking for is the least amount of investment in the skill itself and the most amount of investment possible in the auras supporting that skill. And that's kind of what I aim for. So really, my interest is not the pure damage of Stormbrand or Penance Brand. It's really in how many auras I can support and what that does to the DPS numbers. And it's also a fine balance between finding what really works on the damaging side while still keeping you relatively tanky, where it's okay and you feel comfortable playing the build and not dying. And so I hope that makes a little bit of sense so far. But I wanted to show you something in this map. As you can tell, this is a bit of a tanky map. But here, let me go back a little bit. Yeah, so here I'm on Penance brand, and we are fighting the boss, and it's Maven, and it's silly tanky, and it is taking forever and a day. And I notice I have a ritual in here, and these rituals have been a pain in my side. So I swap over to Stormbrand. And mind you, I had probably died once or twice, I think, on the bosses specifically, or maybe as in the rituals. It had been a rough map. So I swapped back over to Stormbrand just so we could have a side-by-side interaction, and you could kind of see the difference. With Penance brand, in a really densely populated area like this, without remarkables, you're only going to be able to keep up 2 to 3 if you're running Swift brand. And Penance brand doesn't feel that great if you aren't running Swift brand. So when we swapped over to Storm brand and we're able to get out of Swift brand and put back in Energy Shield Leech, it really made a world of difference as far as the actual gameplay mechanics go. You can see I'm actually missing one of my life auras because I have a whole bunch of unreserved life here. So I'm even running one aura less than I should be running, and it's going just smoothly. So one of the important things, because of the way chain works and because of the way the interaction goes with it chaining to neighbors and being able to clump them together, is you'll notice that every so often I'll just hit brand recall and bring everything to me and kind of zip away. And what that is doing is getting the most amount of chains possible in the pack. And that's a mechanic that Penance brand just really doesn't have. And it is part of my favorite interaction with Storm brand. Now you can always scale this differently than the way I'm doing it. I'm scaling it more off of the auras, really, than anything else. And even currently in my POB, I'm probably a little heavy on the defensive auras. I've been trying some things around to make it work. I tried max block, I tried purity stacking, just a couple of different things to see kind of how it was feeling. And I really liked the max block feel of it. I did not like the max block damage. So what I may do is kind of go more in the middle, still pick up Divine Shield, maybe pick up a couple of the block nodes, like maybe just get the Sanctuary cluster, like the bottom half of Sanctuary, and Glancing Blows, and maybe get like 1 or 2 of the spell damage spell block nodes, and then go in heavy with crit. I probably won't make that decision and upload that video build guide till this weekend. I also will probably have a different build guide up this weekend, and I'm also planning to revisit Blade Blast, Blade Fall this weekend. So very, very busy weekend. Should have a bunch of videos out. But yeah, if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask below. I'm always happy to help. And if you would like to see any of those 3 more than others, let me know which one you want to see the most in the comments down below. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you considered liking and subscribing, and I hope to see you in Scourge. Have a great one, guys.